What is going on, everybody? We are back for another episode of the ABJ Podcast. It's going to be episode 57, Desean Pratt. This has been one I've been working at for a minute. I'm excited for it. He has been on Tornado Tag Podcast in the past, but now he's where we got him here on the ABJ show, so I get to have that one-on-one sit down with him, and I'm really pumped. He's somebody in the industry that I care a lot about, and he motivates me, inspires me, and we'll talk about all that in just a minute. But before we get into anything, make sure you check the links below for my links to support the ABJ podcast. Tons and tons and tons of new logos have just dropped. If you, there's literally something for everybody. Your boy ain't begging, but right now is the time to help. So if you want to grab a t-shirt, it would help me out tremendously. Yeah, so definitely check those out, as well as links to if you want to join the Patreon. It's a monthly donation, would help me out a lot as well. Or just follow me on social media, like and share this post, hit the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. All of that is really helpful. We broke 1,000 plays on the audio side and just broke the first 100 after the 1,000. So that's really cool. If you are using Spotify right now, and you're listening to this on Spotify, check out the questionnaire. Just says, what did you think of the podcast? Take a couple moments, write out your response, and let me know. Let me know what you thought of the episode. And you can do it back on past episodes. So if you have listened to other ones, you can still go back and do that. And make sure you leave those 5-star reviews if you're watching on audio, if you're listening on audio platforms. But let's get into the most important thing about this podcast. And guys, it has finally happened. A whole store fully dedicated to vintage wrestling. They said it can never be done, but I've seen it with my own eyes. Suplex Vintage Wrestling is a store curated by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. Located on 5th Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, just one block south of South Street in the heart of Queen Village. Their shop features the largest collection of vintage wrestling apparel under one classic roof, and their selection includes classic designs featuring your favorite wrestlers from the Golden Age, the Attitude Era, Internationals, the Indies, and much more. And if you're tired of watching premium live events or pay-per-views from home, then SVW hosts the best watch party since your friend Kyle's birthday party when you were 12 years old. I will be there on the 27th for Clash of Champions, so if you want to come hang out and meet me or just come see the shop, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to do so. The shop is absolutely fantastic, and then we get to watch some wrestling and have a good time. But also, if shirts and watch parties are not your thing, well, let's not forget their large selection of figures, replica belts, trading cards, and from their t-shirts to hats of rare wrestling memorabilia. They have something for every wrestling enthusiast out there. So what are you waiting for? Check them out on suplex.svw on Instagram or at suplexsvw.com and let them satisfy your nostalgia needs. Their links for as well will be below if you would like to check them out. We will read our other sponsor a little bit later on in the podcast. Like I said, comments are open. If anyone has any questions as the show is going on, please hit them up. I am recording an episode tomorrow. I will announce who that is later on, but it will not air live. It'll be the only podcast so far on this thing that will not be live, but it will be it'll be recorded and put out then. But we do have Jay the Key Evans on the 11th at 7:00. That's going to be Thursday at 7. And then on the next day, so we're actually giving you 4 podcasts this week, and I'm recording 5. We have Pete Corvus on the podcast on the 12th. So make sure you go check those out and come back and hang out with the ABJ podcast. Without further ado, let me bring in my guest here, the Prince of Camden himself, Desean Pratt. What's going on, man?
What's up, ABJ? What it do? How you feeling? What's good?
I feel good. I feel good. So the I Heart ABJ shirts have been really popping off, and people really, 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 really enjoy them. So I just it's a plug to my merch, but also I kind of wanted to show you this because I don't know if you've seen it or not. But tell me this is not like marketing 101. So everyone has the one ECW logo that just sticks out in their brain. And if it's not the ECW logo, what is the one shirt that everybody wanted, but it would always get them in trouble?
Oh, there was a multitude of them.
The ECF&W.
Yeah. The ECF&W show, right? Exactly. Yeah.
There's the ABF and J, right? So
that's it,
in my typical fashion, I thought ABF and J, that's really good. It's a good nostalgia shirt.
Right.
But how can I make it funnier, but still be like, I don't know what you're talking about? And just move one letter in one spot. And AF and BJ.
Yeah. I knew this where I knew that's where this was going. I mean, it's point blank. I mean, it's to the point.
It's Anthony
It,
fucking Blackwell Jr. You know what I mean?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. That's
And
exactly
if
what
it's
that is.
and if it's anything else, you're a prevert. You know what I mean?
100%, 100. 100%. I mean, yeah, I would walk down the street wearing that shirt and just to see the side turns of the head, like, wait, what
Like
is okay? Oh, no, this is
that's
my
not.
buddy ABJ, Anthony. Yeah, this is his initials. Don't even worry about it. It's okay. Don't
Yeah,
worry about it.
don't
It's
worry
cool.
about
No, it's okay. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry. It's okay. You don't get it. You don't get it. It's an inside joke.
it. I love it. I love it. It's really good. So thank you, logos by Hunter, for making all those great logos. And check him out on Instagram if you need to listen to Sean. You need some logos. This guy does good stuff.
Send them my way.
Yeah,
CMD can
maybe like
definitely use some logos.
like a CMF and D. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, you know what? I can see that. I can definitely see that. It's iconic, man. No, yeah,
it is
it's
iconic.
iconic.
Dude, the logo spoofs are what's getting over. I mean, look at Matt Cardona. Most of his stuff is logo spoofs, and he's killing it.
Awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
So we met a while back. I actually missed the first match I ever wanted to see at a promotion. And I didn't know now that how much I needed to see that match live, and I had to go back and watch the archives tapes of it. I actually picked it during a greatest moments event when PPW was down for the quarantine. We all were able to pick our favorite matches, our matches that we wanted to showcase on WYLN. And the first opportunity I got to pick a match, I picked this match. I was a huge Lucha Underground guy, and Drago, right? So
Yeah.
you and Drago squared off at PPW, and I remember that was the first show I was supposed to go to ever for PPW, and I missed that week, and I went to the next month. And then meeting you and seeing you perform, and then getting close to you, I always kick myself in the ass that I never seen that match. And then there's another match that was announced, and I said to myself, if I miss this match, I might as well just give up. Because if there's a match that I wanted to see, and it was going to be this one, and it was you, CMD in full CMD squad, versus I literally just forgot the other team's name. The SAT and oh my goodness,
the Miracle Ones. The Miracle
Ones. Thank you so much.
Oh
The Miracle
man,
Ones.
yeah. That. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Holy crap! I'm so sorry, Miracle Ones. It's you just I'm going through a lot. My brain is mush. But yes, so what a match! And I when that one was announced on the card, I was like, listen, the rest of the card could be a stinker, and as long as I get to see this, I will be a happy man. And the card wasn't a stinker, top
I
to
was about
bottom.
to say the card wasn't by no means.
Amazing,
I mean, top to
amazing.
bottom.
Yeah,
Fire.
definitely go check out shows from the Win. They're putting together some great
Wrestling
stuff.
is now. Big ups for SATs, WIN. They're out there doing it big. Go support them.
Absolutely. But yeah, man, it's been quite a journey. Before we get into like the history of Desean Pratt, I just really want to say this real quick, man. We talked a little bit off camera, and I know most people like ourselves don't like to hear compliments. It makes you uncomfortable. But I gotta say, man, like right now for me personally, I'm going through tons of stuff, and I feel I'm at my lowest. But dude, I've watched you from as a fan, then to backstage, then to being part of the team, go through some of your highs and some of your lows, man. You were probably at what you would feel like is top of your game, and then had a pretty bad car accident. Then you recovered, bounced back, had another setback, recovered, bounced back. Then I literally watched you get your arm broke in a wrestling match. Like, and as soon as it hit, I actually say on commentary, I think Desean just broke his arm. Yeah. And the only reason I said it is because I'm a huge UFC fan. I love mixed martial arts.
Sure.
And usually when a fighter they check a kick to the forearm or they hurt their hand, the first thing they do is they shake their fingers out.
That's exactly it. Yep.
And when you did that, I was like, either he's a master at selling or he's legit hurt. And I just said it. Like, I think and then you rolled out of the ring and you were checking it. And then you kept fighting and you kept going in there and you kept going. And it was against like a really good match. I definitely recommend going back, because if you thought the Drago Desean match was amazing, you should go see Bobby Fish versus Desean Pratt, and then see when he gets kicked in the arm and wrestles another 8 minutes with a broken arm.
Which by the way, I had no idea it was broken. I mean, it
Yeah.
was fun. I mean, even then, while we're like, even Doc, he was just like, here, and I'm like, no, man, look, I'm doing this.
He was
I'm
like,
good, Doc, I'm good. He's like,
Dr.
you
Frank,
sure,
like,
brother? You go down to go down to the ER, baby. I'm like, nah, I'm good, Doc. Look, dude, I started doing push-ups on my arm. I'm like, look, Doc, I'm good. I'm great. Yeah,
yeah,
fine, no problem. Yeah. Then about 2 days later, I'm like, yeah, this sucks.
yeah.
Let me go get this
Dude,
checked
Dr.
out.
Frank literally went like this. That's just
Literally
broke.
went like this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, nah, it's totally not. It's totally cool. It's
Yeah,
totally cool.
listen,
Yeah,
Dr. Frank, you see him. If you don't know who Dr. Frank is, you better find out. But Dr. Frank looks like one of those guys that oh, and by the way, it was Miracle Generation with oh my goodness, oh my god, no, Amazing Luchador. Oh, Jesus Christ. He was with it
Ichiban.
was Ichiban, yeah.
Yes,
Oh my
yes,
god. Sorry, I wanted to put that out too because they just put Dustin Waller and Kylan King in the chat. Kylan King also trained MIT. And they've been friends for not trained, but they came up together.
yeah,
Kylan King is absolutely fantastic. But yes, I wanted to
yeah,
put that over too. Ichiban was in
yeah.
that match. So go
I
check
mean,
it out on when.
all three of them are fantastic.
Yeah,
All three of them. I mean, like the Miracle Generation, man, they're tearing it up.
yeah,
They are doing it big right now, and I just want to give props to them. Ichiban's out there doing his thing too, and then when the three of them are together, it's magic. So I
yeah.
just want to take time out to give a big shout out to them. Keep doing your thing. We watching, and we might have to come after y'all one more time. I'm just
Please,
saying. So
please do, please do.
watch out for y'all. We coming.
But real quick, going back to Dr. Frank. Dr. Frank looks like a giant 80s rock star caveman. He comes in with his big hair and he has like medical tape wrapped around his hair. Like it's not even a real headband. It's like pre-wrap and he has it around his head. He's
Yeah.
like the baggiest clothes you've ever seen. He's got spaghetti on his mouth sometimes. The guy's an animal. But I'll tell you what, you don't the guy who stitched up Mick Foley after Hell in a Cell and pulled his
Yep.
tooth out of his lip and stitched up his
Yep.
gums, he literally went, yeah, that's broke. And
That's broke.
the dude knows his
Yeah.
stuff. He's
And
a
I
good doc.
literally, I'm like, nah, are you sure? Are you sure? He's like, I mean, he was like, but you looks like you got feeling it. And I'm like, are you sure? And I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
he was right. Like, yeah,
So
just
then,
that was it. Yeah, you're right.
yeah. So once again, another setback, and we talked even going into this, and you were really confident about where you were at that point, and stuff, and you felt like you hit that next gear, and you finally worked your way back. Another huge setback. And
Yeah.
then you took some time off, and then CZW called, and they said, "Hey, we need a trainer." And then you teamed up with Boom, which
Yes.
learning more about Boom and learning more about his past and his history, even before the podcast. Actually, the guy who really put the correlation together for me and told me like, "Yo, you have no idea how amazing that tag team is and that partner is," was Philly Mike. Philly Mike's been watching both of you guys for a very long time, and he's a
Well,
huge
wow.
supporter of both of you. And he even said, he goes, dude, Desean came from a promotion where he was like a guy in a mask, and he was over as a guy in a mask, but it was never even intended to be that way. And then came out of the mask, and then every single thing he did, he was right there, but never, you know what I mean? Like always kind of
Couldn't get that brass ring, Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah,
always considered the hardest worker, the one who put the most work in, and all this stuff. And he goes, and then you see a younger version of him in a Boom Harden that went to almost the same path. So you
yeah.
guys together are just amazing. And what does it mean for you to be that veteran, to take? And I don't even want to say he's a kid, because this kid, he's been around since he's 14. He's probably has
Yeah.
more ring time than you, and you've been doing it as long. You know what I mean?
Listen, you know what? I swear, like the kid was like out the womb into a wrestling ring.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much he eats, sleeps, and breathes this sport, this business, like everything. Like, and I swear to you, I kid you not, like this kid is a walking encyclopedia of professional wrestling. Like he like, it's crazy, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. He's like, he will just like, hey, do you know X, Y, and Z? Da, da, da. And I'm looking at him as I'm driving, like, how do you know this? Like, how do you know? He was like, oh, well, it's right there. And I was doing, and I was just like, bro, like, that's really cool. And I'm like, that's when it really hit me, like, yo, he really does have a passion for this. And
Yeah.
as the more time we spent together, and the more that we travel on the road, practicing and training together, wrestling together, I'm like, wow, this person is like literally me.
Mm-hmm.
Literally me. It's it's crazy to literally see a spitting image of myself in somebody like that, and it's crazy because and I like a legit spitting image. I always listen to him talk about how like the business, and I'm like, yo, I said the exact same thing when I was coming up. I talk just like that, and that's what, in a sense, kind of like really, really brought us together. You know what I mean? That moment when it was just like it clicked. And then, like I was telling you, off camera, it's gotten to the point where I was like, we'll be, piecing things together, piecing matches together. And I'm like, yeah, hey man, what if we, and he's like, hey D, I got an idea. What if we do this, and the thing? And I will go back and I go, how did you literally just take that out of my head? I was just about to say that verbatim. And it just translates. It translates, into our craft. It translates into what we do in the ring. And I'm grateful and thankful that a lot of people are picking up what we're selling, buying what we're selling, excuse me, and enjoying what we're doing. It's awesome. And to, and it's awesome to go through that journey with someone like Boom.
And how much has he motivated you to, through your ups and downs, and get you back in and get you in a mind state where you're like, this is what I want to do for? Because I know you said kind of off camera and I cut you off and I said, save this for the podcast. You were kind of hesitant to go back and be in a tag team at this stage in your career.
I was, because like you said, having those matches with Bobby Fish, having those matches with, Drago, I was just getting into my stride as a singles competitor. I spent a good 10 plus years as a tag wrestler. So it was like, man, okay, let me do another like 7, 8 plus of being a singles wrestler. Okay. Cause I'm really enjoying this, but we tried it. And like I said, it was just the idea, like, hey, well, again, you're from Camden, he's from Camden. Let's see let's see what happens. And it was like a lock and key, it fit. Boom.
It's so eerie how much, like, how similar those parallels are.
It's crazy. And it was just right there, lock, key, boom. That was it. That was the, the cheat code, if you will. And it was just, again, once we started, again, being around each other, training, talking wrestling, talking matches, talking goals and aspirations, it's like he became like literally like my little brother. Like I think I told him that. Matter of fact, I said, you're literally the little brother that I never had. I'm going to choke you like one too sometimes, but that's the idea. And it's okay. You probably want to give me a couple punches to the face too, but that's cool. I go, but that's the dynamic that we have. It's that little brother, big brother, sometimes it's just like, I know more than you. Right. It's like, I know more than you. And I'm just like, well, no, you don't. And then we kind of go back and bicker back. I was like, you know what? Why are we doing this? Why? Like, okay, fine. All right. Let's just move on, and then we're back to, just being tight again. So it's funny.
In the chat, Kurt Bale says CMD hot fire. I don't know that bad company. They got a little bit of a crew and a little bit of a stable, and I'm just saying CMD bad company needs to possibly happen.
Yeah, man. No, I definitely would love to work with those guys too, man. They're hungry, man. They do their thing. They're very much so. I see huge things on the horizon for them. They're consistent.
Well, I'm they're always working there for Kurt and the other half of Bad. I have 2 members of Bad Company the rest of this week. I have 2 more I got to get. So Kurt, you got to let me know some dates, brother. Like I need you both on. But how he goes, it's crazy how similar their in-ring is. How similar they are in-ring is outstanding. Yeah.
Yeah, again, and that's just, again, like you said, that parallel, it's crazy, it's insane. Like how, again, just a mirror image, of one another. And I felt like that's why it works so well. I mean, we would debut places all the time, and fans would just come and just, we love your guys' energy. Like, we love when you guys come. You guys really know how to bring up a crowd. You guys are raucous. You guys are energetic. And it's like, and you guys in the ring together, it's, like Rock and Roll Express. And I'm like, awesome. Hey, no, that is great. No, thank you. That is the biggest compliment you could ever, possibly give a tag team. And And of course, that it's great to hear that. It's humbling to hear that, but it's just like one of those things. Okay, we're getting these compliments for a reason. Let's check ourselves real quick. Let's continue working.
Yep.
Okay, let's not get wrapped up in this right now. Let's keep working. It's like, okay, cool. We had our moment to celebrate. We basked in that a little bit. All right, now it's time to clock back in and get back to work. And that's what we
Yeah.
do. And that's just what it is. We just got to keep going and keep moving and keep progressing and
Yep.
just really just trying to better ourselves and really just stay 10 toes down.
Yeah, I remember you doing your heel run a little bit at PPW, and you would channel a little bit of your humor while you were also the heel when you were doing like the chicken shit heel stuff, and you channel a little bit of that Kevin Hart. Because I think somebody in the crowd called you Kevin Hart because you know what I mean, and I just remember
Yeah.
you saying like you broke out like a Kevin Hart monologue. You're like, well, let me tell you something.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I totally did, and it just stuck. It just
Yeah.
stuck. And yeah, and it was funny. It was cool because it was cool to have that like dynamic to, my character.
I just remember you getting beat up and dumped out of the ring, and you coming out close to me when I was still fan mode and guardrail, and I just remember going, he wasn't ready, and he's
Yes,
like, you
yes,
shut up,
I
you shut
remember.
up.
I
And then,
remember. Yes, I totally remember that. Yes,
but
yes,
but now
yes,
you can
exactly.
incorporate
Yes.
that as a baby face. You're about to
No,
pick him up
one
for a
hundred
suplex and
percent.
look around, and go, he's not ready.
He was not ready. He was no, he wasn't ready. No, he wasn't ready. You know
Yeah,
what?
and
I'm
just
going
get
to
the
definitely
pop.
have to incorporate that. Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's a T-shirt right there. Desean Pratt. He's
Listen, right
not
there.
ready. Kevin,
You
and then if
know.
Kevin Hart goes, you can have that Tony Deppen moment. He fought Anthony Funches. You could wrestle Kevin Hart.
Listen, like his boys with the Rock. So I mean, I know he's got a little bit of training. He can come get it too.
Real quick, I just kind of put this out in the universe. What's coming up next year in Philadelphia?
WrestleMania.
How crazy would it be if a promotion somehow convinced Kevin Hart to wrestle you at an indie show? Like I said, Kevin Funches did it with Tony Deppen. I feel that's a
Yeah.
match made in heaven.
You know what? I don't think the wrestling internet is ready for that. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they're ready for that. I don't think anybody would literally just go out on the internet and just start putting that together. I mean, I don't know why would you want to do that. I mean,
Yeah. You don't
I
have the
mean,
guts.
do that, people. That's me telling you guys to do that. Let's
Yeah, yeah.
let's get that going. I mean, who knows? Weirder things have happened in professional wrestling. Me
Totally.
wrestling. Kevin Hart on an indie show, yeah, probably ain't gonna be the weirdest, It'd be pretty
And
freaking
it's in
cool.
Philly. I mean, like, if Eddie's
Why
gonna do
not?
it,
Why again? Why not?
yeah.
Why not? Somebody get the Rock on the phone, tell him to call Kevin Hart, tell his people, call my people, and we can get this going. So right there.
What's gonna happen is the promoter's gonna go up to Kevin Hart and be like, Kevin, you see, we've tried to pay you, but the way my bank card works,
He was
I
about the
gotta,
way his bank account was. He's got to take.
I gotta
Okay,
rub it on
Kevin.
my
So the
jeans.
promoter told me he had a check in his savings account, and the money had to go in the checking account. So look, Kevin, look, I'm
I'll
sorry.
get you next time, brother. I'll get you next
This
time.
next time, he said he's gonna get you next time. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Okay, no, right? He said you're gonna get it. Okay, he's gonna get it. Okay, look, he said he's gonna get you. Okay, okay, no, tell no, I'll tell you. All right, let's go, let's go.
Kevin Hart's gonna learn. He's gonna learn indie wrestling real quick. Yeah. So let's talk about the shirt a little bit. Let's talk about becoming, taking that step from talent to using your mind of the business and everything you've done in the business when it comes to the growth and the learning and the ups and the downs. Like I said, man, I hate stressing on it, but like honestly, I think more people should realize, like, you got that dog in you, man. Like there's not like, even in yourself, there's been times where you wanted to quit, but something deep down tells you to keep fighting. And we're all the internet wrestling scene and community are all happy you do. But how important is that as a person for you to then go to a place like CZW and become a trainer? I've been telling people forever, like, if I want to go learn, where should I go? And I said, like, there's so many great places, so many great places. But if I was learning how to professional wrestle and I wanted to get into anywhere, I would 100% go and learn from you, because I just feel like not only am I going to get great wrestling experience, but I think the mental aspect of wrestling is where a lot of people fall short, because everyone wants to get in because it looks like fun. And yeah, the bumps hurt and all that stuff is crazy. But when it comes down to like injuries and setbacks and time away from the road and time away from your family, like, no one knows that better than you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so it's cool. Being a trainer is it's really fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy helping. I enjoy motivating. I enjoy inspiring. Um, every Thursday night when I get there, even when I'm having a rough day, I'm like, man, I don't feel like doing this today. All right, but let me get in the car, drive down to the dojo, and I would see all the smiles when I walked through that door. And they're, yo, D, what's up? And boom, I'm just like, oh, all right. What's up, guys? Hey, all right, man. You guys gave me that energy. Okay, let's get to work. Let's go out there and get to work. And I love it, man. The guys are very receptive. To me, they are just really just amazing people, and they all work hard. They all work hard. Like that's the one thing that I love about that group of guys. And some of the ladies when they come down that we have too, they all get after it. And sometimes I just sit back like a proud, uncle, just watching them go, like, oh, all right, okay, cool, cool. And then, when I see the smile on their faces when they're running something in the ring and something clicks and they look at me and I'm just giving them that nod of approval and they just smile. Okay, cool. And then just watching them get it. And then watching them get it and then put it into the matches that they, when they put forth their matches, it's a humbling experience. It's just like, wow, you guys like me enough to listen to me. Thank you. But you know what I mean?
As they should, if they were smart.
but no, but it really is though, man. It's seriously, truly humbling, man. Like it's really cool because it's like, again, just like these guys and girls, they trust you. They trust you to work with you. They trust you, to lead them, to take and they to want to take your lead. Yeah, man, the humbling is the one word that just keeps coming to mind. So I'm just gonna keep saying it because I can't really describe it any other way than that. Super humbling.
Yeah. Well, who are some people coming out of that school or some people you've been working with that people should start putting on their radar or circling or saying that they should keep an eye out for?
Man, honestly, that's all of them, man. You got a guy by the name of Matt Quay, who's
been
out
on the
there doing this
podcast,
thing.
baby.
Yeah, so there you go, Matt Quay, Ian
I
Bush.
may or may not have coined his merch. I said on my commentary became his merch. I said Matt Quay lives by the 3 M's, and that's muscles, mullets, and America.
So we have you to thank for that. Awesome, great,
That
great.
was an ABJ special.
Nah, man. Like I said, Ian Bush, Griffin McCoy, Aaron Ash.
Griffin McCoy. Jesus Christ, that guy.
Yeah. He's
Ian
another.
Bush is a dirty scumbag.
But he likes it that way. He wouldn't have it any other way. Man, there's just so many of them. Watch out for all of them, seriously, because again, it's one of those things. It's like you say that, I got that dog in me. They got that dog in them, and they got that. They like a dog with a bone. You know what I mean? And I see it every single time we train, and I'm looking at them. I go, and I tell them every time. I said, when I'm done, my beard gets even grayer. My bones hurt even more. And I was like, and I tell them each and every one of them. I group them all together at the end of practice, and I say this. I tell them, I say, listen to me, and believe me when I say that y'all got next. Like again, when we phase out, when we're done, when we're gone, this is your house. Keep it on lock, protect it, keep doing it, keep this business alive. That's what I tell them every time, and I tell them I believe in each and every one of them, every single one of them.
That's a star-studded cast, man. And like 100%. I said, I respect every single talent you just said, and the fact that they're learning from you is only going to make them better people and better wrestlers.
Thank you.
And they are going to carry on and make the business good because we need more good people in this business.
Thank you.
How do people go about getting into CZW and training with you and getting into that environment?
I always tell them, I mean, listen, the door's always open. Shoot me a message, come work.
Where exactly is CZW so people know to go?
So it's right down. It's in Blackwood, 110 Harmon Drive, Blackwood, New Jersey, right over the Walt Whitman Bridge, probably 10 minutes past the Defford Mall. Yeah, we're right there. Like I said, we're there Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Or again, if anybody wants to come down and just wants to get some ring time, I have the key. Hit me up. My house, your house. You guys want to work, and people always ask me, well, what's the mat fee? How much do I got to pay? Pay me in sweat. That's what I want.
I love that.
Pay me in sweat, and then that's it. Don't come. Just don't come down there playing. Come down there and show me you want to work. My door's always going to be open for you.
If you're a wrestler, and I know a lot of yous are who listen to this, and I know a lot of yous are young, and there's so many different styles and levels of the industry that people listen to this in. If you don't take that advice, and if you're not, this dude is giving you an open gym to come work. Get it.
Weights, dumbbells, medicine balls, boxing bag, like come work, come sweat, like come work. Like,
yeah, you will advance as a talent.
My house is your house. The door's open. Yeah. Hit me up on the Twitter, Facebook Messenger. The door's open. Come work.
Tell them when you send that message, say, I heard it on the ABJ podcast. I'm coming to give that sweat. That's exactly
there you
what
go. That's it. Message. Pay me in sweat. That's all I ask. Pay me in sweat. I want to see that shirt being there. I'll be able to wring it out by the end of the night. That's it. That's my payment. Thank you. And then, kind of hopefully, you had a good enough time. You want to come back, and then you want to actually, hang around a little bit more. So it's right there. Doors open.
Well, let's Tarantino this a little bit and let's rewind. When did Desean Pratt? When is your earliest memory of you becoming a fan of professional wrestling?
Oh man, I mean it's right off the bat. I mean, I think about it every day. When I sometimes just stop and just think about how far I've come in this business, and I go, man, if I can go back and see 4-year-old Desean, in that, 1-bedroom apartment in Camden and go, yo, you see that on TV? You see what you're watching? WWF Superstars? That's going to be you. That's going to be you. And you know what? I probably wouldn't even believe myself. You know what I mean? And that's what it is, man. I think about me being 4 years old. It was summertime. Yeah, it was a hot day. And I remember one of my best friends at the time, he wasn't home. I think he went to go visit his dad for the weekend. So I was like, all right, well, damn, I'm just going to go back in the house then. And
Matthew, he said the answer is sweat.
Sweat. Matthew, come sweat. That's the cost. Come sweat for me. Come sweat. Again, like I said, I wanted you to be able to wring the shirt out by the end of the night. That's all it is, baby. Come work, man. Come message me. We're going to talk and then come work. All right.
I'm telling you, one of the best dudes in this business in the Northeast scene with some of the best young upstarts and guys who are in the business for quite some time themselves, all under that roof. You'd be silly not to take that.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah. But like that's what it was. So like I said, I went home, turned the TV on. It's about 1:00, and WWF Superstars is on. And I'm like, what is this? Like, what am I watching? And again, it's the bright colors, the larger than life characters. I'm seeing The Ultimate Warrior was the one I gravitated to the most, because it was definitely the Screamers. The bright colors. Like it was, the Screamers, the bright colors. That's what, he's ripping and running down the aisle, carrying on like a lunatic. And I'm like, yo, this dude's pretty dope. And I never missed an episode, like I literally gravitated my life around catching WWF Superstars every Saturday afternoon, or watching some form of wrestling, and then it's like it just stuck with me, just watching wrestling and watching and just watching all types of wrestling. I even remember I was staying at my grandmother's house, and my aunts were like flipping the candles for me, like, oh, let's find something to watch on TV. And all I saw was a wrestling ring. And I was like, oh, let's go back. That's wrestling. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. And she's like, D, this is women's wrestling. I said, I don't care. It's wrestling. Leave it on. I'm watching it. I didn't care. It was wrestling. All I saw was, those red, white, and blue ropes, those four ring posts, and people just beat the crap out of each other. I didn't care who was in the ring. Yeah, and it just really just became an obsession. It really did. And to the point whereas, I started going to indie shows. CCW was my very first indie show that I went to.
Really?
Believe it or not. Yeah.
That's how about full circle?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. And here we are now. 2023, I'm sitting here talking about that journey with you right now. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Now, how did you transition from I want to do this, like watching it, to wanting to do this full time? Like, you're very famously, or maybe not famously. I mean, I think if you're a smart fan, you're the first guy on the indie scene to break the internet. You were one of the first viral clips.
Oh my gosh, I can never ever get away from this, dude. Yeah. You know what? That video resurfaces at least once a year,
as it should.
And you know what? I'm thankful for it. I am so thankful for it. But every time I can see it, it just chuckles me. And when I see it, and then it's just like, all right, I always go just to see how like the next generation is taking it, how the next generation, is taking to it. Some people hate it, some people love it, some people are like, whatever, but but at the end, it's just like, but whatever you feel about it, good, better, and different. But like you said, it definitely broke the internet. That was a very cool moment in time.
Yeah, you were a member of Chikara, and unfortunately, I mean, it didn't end on the greatest terms, but it is still a promotion that I like to go back and watch, and I still do tape study. I still research it. You'd be silly not to, because if you look at what's happening right now on your TV screen in professional wrestling, there's only a handful of guys, and when I say a handful, I'm saying guys like Lesnar, Roman, and like the Usos, but everybody else has come from the indie scene, and a good 80% of them have come from Chikara, and they're
or at least like or at least maybe came in and and did an event for us.
It was a special moment in wrestling, and I mean, you were there for a very crucial time, man. I mean, a lot of the guys you're watching on TV are guys you worked with,
shared locker rooms with. Yeah, it's really cool. Again, full circle. It's really cool to see that. Every time I'm watching, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn doing their thing, and I'm like, man, I'm thinking about that time, in Ring of Honor, and I was just like, who, by the way, oh, again, I still to this day thank Gabe for that opportunity, but and I'm just like, man, it's just so crazy, like, to see, people that I've worked with just doing it and doing what they love and enjoying it and, and just having a good time. And I see what you're pulling out. And yeah, just get
hold up there. For a second. So I was at a wrestling convention. And there's all these tables, and Gary from Smart Mark Video is there, and he has all these 8x10s. And I walk by and I go, holy shit. And he's like, what? I go, you literally have half the AEW roster before they were the AEW roster on this table, and no one knows. So I have a binder full of autographs that I've gotten in the crates or at shows. If I work with a talent, I'll get an 8x10. So some of these may stand out to you here.
Yeah.
One of these guys is as one of the smartest wrestlers that teaches you how to play video games in WWE. The other one, his name might have hot sauce in it, and the other one is just too cool. He just gives you a thumbs up. You know what I mean?
That's it, man. No, that's it. Yeah, man. It's again, like you said, talk about full circle, right?
These guys got real dark later on in life,
Yeah,
and had an order. This one. So there's another guy in the business, Desean, that I love just as much as you, and I just respect him for his ability and what he brings to the ring, and because he's just a very good person.
Yes,
And
he
then
is.
Pineapple Pete here, Jericho, one of Jericho's first feuds.
First opponents, right? First opponents, yeah, man. It's
And
funny.
then there's this weird guy in this red mask here. How old are you in this picture?
Man, firstly, all right, you're gonna put me on the spot there. I'm an old man now. No, that I probably was like 23, 24. There. Yeah, let that marinate, people. Let's let that hang for a second. I'm
almost at
old,
that.
man.
You're almost at
I'm
that Keith
old.
Lee status where he just comes out. He doesn't even.
That's it. I'm just gonna stop and just let this just go gray.
Dude, when he
Rocking.
came out full white, I was like, "What is
Hey,
that?"
man,
It
listen.
was jarring
Embrace
to
it.
look at.
Listen, man, it reminded a little bit like my grandpop, the one that's just always tired all the time and just tired. Hush up that noise right now, boy. All right, grandpa there. Like, I'm cool.
Keith Lee becomes the new murder grandpa. How
That's
awesome.
it. Right.
Yeah.
No, man, but I love it, man. It looks good on him, though. It looks good on him.
Who are some people that have come through Chikara that left an impression on you that we would know of, like, our moments that you've had or got to work with, that even at that earlier stages you're like, man, this person's got it?
Oh man, dude, like it's crazy, man, because like I've just been like had the the gracious opportunity to be around a lot of amazing people in this business. I mean, like, being able to train with Claudio, aka Cesaro, being able to train under the tutelage of a Chris Hero, being able to one day have Delirious from Ring of Honor, come and guest train at the school. And then one day Matt Sydal just walks in and you're training with Matt Sydal. Like, it's just crazy, to see. And again, like I'm, man, 21, 22 at this point in time. And, not real. And like getting all this game from so many people that are doing that. We're doing it. Hell, still doing it. You know what I mean? Still doing it and looking like, they never miss a step. Like they've been, you know what I mean? They look as great as they did as day one. You know what I mean? It's crazy to see things like that. But for me personally, the biggest one, I've worked with a group of a numerous amount of great people like Akira Tozawa. When I was one King of Trios, we got to wrestle
he
King Dragon
is
Gate.
so criminally underrated. He does not get enough love.
No, he really doesn't. And just knowing that, like, again, back then we all knew how good he was. Still is,
He
now,
did a dark match. He did a dark match on Raw against that guy who just got drafted, the Australian guy, Zhao, or I can never say his name right.
Right, yeah.
Him and Tozawa went out and did a match, and I'm a Tozawa mark, and Tozawa killed. Like, dude, it was unbelievable because it was a dark match. He could do whatever he wants, and they just went out and put on a banger.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like he's another one of those dudes that, like, when you let him cook, that boy gonna cook, man. Like, he's good, man.
Well, speaking of boys who can cook, that came from Chikara and we've got to see on TV. How did Lince Dorado enter the fold of CMD, and how did that reconnection happen and this become a trios team as well?
Well, I mean, a lot of people may not realize this, but Lince is another former Camden resident. He's one of our Camden boys. So again, it's just three dudes from a poverty-stricken, crime-ridden city, traveling the world, living their dream. Like, it's the all-American story, right? You get out the hood, you go live your dream, and you're just having a good time doing it. And then you're inspiring, the people that live in your city, who remember when you were a kid, so all you ever talked about was, yeah, I'm going to be a pro wrestler. I'm going to be a professional wrestler. That's all you talked about. You're running around daycare telling anybody that will listen that you're going to be a professional wrestler one day. They're like, all right, yeah, okay, cool, go away, right? But
You're in
but you still
daycare.
held, yeah, okay, yeah, cool, right,
Yeah.
right? But you still held on to it, right? Exactly, trying to
Yeah.
rip my shirt, like Hulk Hogan, getting yelled at, but
I
it
got
was,
I got detention for crop chops. So
oh, we all did, we definitely took DX for us getting detention and all that too. But yeah, no, man, it was like I said, it was just like. Like it's just like I said, man. It was just you just sometimes you just stop and just be grateful, be
yeah.
grateful for just everything, just be grateful for everything that that you've had, and then I'm grateful for just again a lot of those people that I had the opportunity to work with, AJ Styles, the Young Bucks, the list goes on and on and on and on, and it just helped me
Did you
better
ever
my
get to?
game.
Did you ever get to tangle with that? What was he? Helio when he was in Chikara?
Yeah, I definitely got to tangle with him. I
He ended up
definitely did.
becoming a Puma then, right? Later
Yeah,
on,
he
and now,
became a Puma, and then
yeah, and
yeah,
now he's
now he's teaming
Ricochet.
with Ricochet. Right? I mean, that's it. We see where we're going with. No, yes, in fact, he was actually my very first singles match in my career.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, like I said, let that hang. Like let that hang for a second. He was my first singles match. Yeah.
Bro, Ricochet, Lindsay, Brody, Kingston, Claudio, Orange Cassidy, Drew Gulak. There's probably someone's the best friends essentially team.
Yeah.
Like all of them on TV now. This guy has worked, has that locker room experience, has trained, has done all that with. If you're not willing to go just sweat, you're insane.
Just sweat, man. Just come and sweat. That's it. That's all I ask. Just some sweat, right?
It's insane. If you're not looking at your phone now and saying I can move a Thursday and I can get up and I'll drive 2 hours and get to CZW for the night, you're crazy. If you're not trying to make those plans, you're absolutely insane.
Thank you, man.
I'm gonna open up the chat now. We're getting close to that 50-minute mark, that hour mark. I don't want to keep Desean all night, but while I'm waiting for your guys' questions to pour in, I want to read our other sponsor here. So elevate your style with Frackville's brand Elevation 1470. Elevation 1470 is reinventing the style by bringing traditional and nostalgic apparel to Frackville and the surrounding areas of Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania. We pride ourselves in hometown heritage and community, and Elevation 1470 is where the trail begins. You can find them at www.elevation1470.com for all your latest traditional, nostalgic, and needs in Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania. So, like you, who are you're finding people from your town of Camden, the city of Camden, and you're touring the world with it. That's for me of Elevation 1470. Just another guy from my local area, Schuylkill County, and he's proud of his community and he's doing everything he can to bring it up. So definitely support him. Hunter's got the first one here. What is your proudest in-ring moment?
Oh man, proudest in-ring moment. Oh yeah, I got to really go to the head on this one. Proudest in-ring moment. I would definitely have to say earning my first championship run in Chikara. A lot of people sometimes some people, depending on who you are. Again, you can have that opinion. Winning championships don't mean anything, but to me, especially then and doing it at such a young age, that meant that the owner trusted you.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, we didn't have a world title then. The tag titles were our championships. That was the title. So being able to work hard and impress our trainers and impress, the office, and for them to just go, hey, by the way, you guys are next. And they just got that bomb on you. You're like, yeah, by the way, you guys are next.
Who did you guys beat for the tag team titles?
The Super Smash Brothers. Yeah, the Super Smash
Evil
Brothers.
Uno and Still Grayson, by the way.
Yes, exactly. The Dark Order. Yeah, no, right. Yeah, we actually we beat them for them in Philly at the ECW arena, and just the roar of the crowd when when Bryce hit that last 3 count. Man, it was just
Bryce
like
Remsburg, the referee of AEW.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, Bryce Remsburg, right? Love me some Bryce, man. And no, and just the roar of the crowd, and just like it was a proud moment, to have, man. So
And
yeah,
you're in
that
the
was definitely
ECW arena. No big deal.
what, right, exactly. I only watched this place on TV, numerous times. But yeah, man, that was it, man, because that was just like wow, this is what that feels like. That's winning a championship, in front of a large crowd and having people cheer for you. That's a great feeling. No, that was definitely my biggest, proudest moment.
Nancy says, who 2 plus B3? I don't know if that's an inside.
I have no idea. Yes.
All right, we'll pass that and we'll go to her next one that says, what wrestler will you want to wrestle in your last match to finish your career? If you can write the bookend right now and say, this is the person I want that I'm gonna go out on my back and I want them to be the one to finish me, who would it be? I mean, I know my answer.
Who would you say?
Boom.
Yeah, just take your big brother out. No, honestly,
as a respect thing, it'd be like a Sean Flair moment.
You know what? That would probably be it. No, that would definitely be it.
I love you. Goodbye.
You got the juice, man. You got the juice here. I gave you all that I can try to, go do your thing now. No, that would probably definitely be it. Yeah. That would be him.
I would steal the answer and ruin it all.
No. I mean, because you know what? Like, I mean, yeah, I could easily say somebody like, like Triple H or something like that, but something more so like, meaningful, and more so that it's just like that poetic ending. It would definitely be my boy Boom.
Yeah.
Pass the torch.
Most memorable / hilarious botch in your career.
Memorable, hilarious. Oh man, I started laughing because when I read that, I just had a bunch of them just fly. Okay, here we go. So there was one time, one of my favorite stories to tell. So there's one time, myself, Lindsay, Frightmare, and Finian, we were going out to Nebraska. Didn't know they had professional wrestling in Nebraska, but hey, let's go do that.
So we were at what a motley crew.
Yeah, whatever, cool. So it was like a lucha festival, but it was like a corn harvest too. So they gave us the main event. So it was the Ontario Portal versus Frightmare versus Lindsay Dorado, 293 falls match. Cool, no problem. So we're doing the match, and we noticed the referee is a little weird, like acting a little weird. He's not there. He's not making a lot of the 3 counts. He's in the way. But hey, you know what? We're professionals. We're trying to make make do. And match is over. It was just a big, mess. So we're kind of just like, hey, we gotta go find that ref and let's go talk to him. The guy's nowhere to be found. Like, the guy just got ghosted. So we're walking around like, okay, yeah, where's this dude? Because we got to talk to him. So I was like, hey, so we went to the one promoter, and I was like, hey, you know who that referee was? And they were just like, nah, man, I think it was a bunch of other promotions too under one umbrella for that festival. It was like, oh man, it might have been one of the other guys' referee. So we're literally like trying to hunt down his referee, like, because completely messed up our match. And the one dude was just so we go to one promoter who was like the head of the whole show, and we're like, hey man, who was that referee, man? Because like he kind of messed up our stuff. Kind of wanted to talk to him, tell him about it. He looks us dead in the eye and he goes, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that was a fan. Somehow, some way, a fan got in the ring and refereed the main event.
It doesn't shock me at all.
If I'm lying, I'm flying, and as you can see, my cheeks are still in this chair.
It is a thing in independent wrestling where if someone just acts cool, they can get
Dude,
places
that's
they're not
literally
supposed
what he yelled. Cause like, and then like we're on the bus back, cause we kind of caravan with the group of wrestlers, and I'm sitting there just tripping on this whole thing, like yo, like wait, what? And then I stopped and think about it, like this dude was literally incognito, and I was like, yo, I remember seeing him in the back the entire time, like just hanging out. Like again, just being cool, just hanging out. Like
He's wearing a
hey,
rep shirt. That means he belongs
wait,
here.
no, but that's the one thing. No. But wait, hold up. That's another thing. He didn't have a rep shirt on yet. So he had like some regular shirt. We're getting ready to go out. He stops us at Gorilla, by the way, while our music's playing, tries to take selfies with us. That should have been a red flag number one. We're like, wait, I don't know. What the heck? Who's that guy? Why are you there? Bro, after he snaps the pictures, takes his shirt off, and then goes to the ring. And I'm like, yo, whose van is this?
I love that.
Whatever. But then there you go. He did, in fact, end up being a fan.
He had a memory. He had a moment.
He had a memory. He refereed the main event.
Any other questions, get him in. But there's some things I want to talk about real quick. So you got some stuff coming up, man. First things first, representation in professional wrestling, whether it be the LGBTQ community, whether it be the Spanish community, whether it be the Asian community, the Black community, it's super, super, super important. And the best way to express that is just look what happened at Backlash. They are literally now looking at Puerto Rico and being like, the love and support they got, Backlash may just become the Puerto Rico show.
Hey,
and it should be.
I'm with it. As it should be. I'm with it.
Damian Priest is already being talked about right now as a New Jersey guy who's going to possibly be a major player in the company now because he proved what he could do at a show.
Yeah.
And then I look at a wrestling poster like this, Desean, and I think to myself, there's not a lot of independent wrestling posters that look like this. Look at the representation here.
Yeah.
I just had Ryan Vox on Orochi, and if you're thinking to yourself, man, who's Desean gonna wrestle that night? And as a little Mark fan for me, you and Robbie Radke are gonna be squaring off.
Man.
I will be in attendance for this. What do you think of your opponent Robbie here, and what are you looking forward to in this matchup?
Man, we're gonna hit each other very hard. I can see that. I can see that he's gonna bring it. Again, it's just, he's a bigger dude, I'm pretty big myself, but I'm just going to have to come at him, I'm going to have to get gritty. I'm going to have to bring that CMD Camden style that he can't stop. And until he's looking them at the ceiling, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, Robbie.
I'm super excited for that match. And then we talk about representation, and this is something in wrestling that I didn't get to learn about too much later. Thanks to my co-hosts on the Tornado Tag, Brian, for showcasing this, and we talked about it during Black History Month, and we went back and watched it. And you want to talk about a Puerto Rico moment when this man won the world title, and he was the first guy to do it. Here's a picture of you and Ron Simmons. What does that mean to you, meeting him and talking to him?
That was. And I think that was the caption on my Instagram, that picture there. I'm actually getting choked up looking at that picture. That picture is literally the most important picture to me. Especially, it's almost like a campaign of take the picture. Don't be afraid to take the picture. That was a definite take the picture moment because I remember, I'm like, okay, I'm there for work. I'm there to promote, the show that we had coming up for the CCW show. We had Kenta coming, so we were there to promote that. But I'm like, if I don't get this picture, I'm going to regret it. But I'm like, nah, I got to be professional. I can't.
I do it all the time. I struggle so hard.
I can't. I'm here to do a job. So I was just like, you know what? Forget it. Something was just like, D, if you don't get this picture, this is going to literally be one of the biggest wrestling regrets of your life. Go take the picture. And I sat there, he's handling business for a little bit, so I'm off to the side. And he's just like, hey, you want to take a picture? And I'm just like, yes. Yeah. And standing next to somebody that, again, someone that looks like me. standing next to, the man, like he was like the face of the company, one of the first to do it. That was important. You know, I was that, again, everybody talks about the little black boy jumping up and down. That was me because I was like, yo, he looks like me. I see people that look like him every day, walking to preschool with my mom. Like, I see him as a world champion. That was one of those moments I was like, yo, if I don't see this through, like, what am I doing with my life? After that moment, that was a very, very, very important moment for me.
Yeah.
And that was a very, very important picture.
Yeah. Another match you got up here. You versus Homicide.
Seeing that photo, man, I literally just got goosebumps, man, because like the respect that I have for that guy is crazy. It's crazy. And I have a feeling that I know what the next slide may be, so I'm going to put it to you like this. The first time I ever seen Homicide was my very first DVD. Was my very first DVD purchase. From Smart Mark Video was Best of the Best 5. That was probably like my favorite tournament ever. And that was the first time I ever seen Homicide. It was him. It was the match. It was like him versus Jack Evans. And this was before I even started training. Yeah, I'm still a fan. I was still coming to the shows, and and I was like, let me buy this DVD. And it was just weird, man. It was just like, for some reason, that DVD stuck out to me. And I just remember like going, wow, you know what? This tournament is awesome. There's a lot of great wrestlers in this. And I literally told myself, I said, yo, one day I'm going to do this tournament. I don't know how or when or where, but I'm going to do this tournament. And I kid you not. When watching that, I said, I want to do this tournament after that DVD. That really solidified me wanting to be a professional wrestler then.
Yeah. And you're gonna square off with him. How what's the emotions gonna be like for that?
The nerves are gonna be there. Because like I said, he's a legend. He's a worldwide legend, not just in the Northeast. He's a world. Let me put some respect on his name. He's a worldwide legend. And the best thing is too that I love about that dude is the representation. Again, it's important. Seeing somebody, that came from New York, travel with this love of wrestling. His friends probably were like, nah, man, that's stupid. You're not going to be able to do that. And he did it. And he's still doing it. And he's one of the most revered names in the game, and having that opportunity to stand in the ring with him, that's an achievement, unlocked moment for me. That's a match I've been wanting for years. Like, anybody super close to me, they were like, what's that one match you want? That guy's name always flew out of my mouth. Always. And to have that opportunity, it's one of those, I'm excited and I can't miss.
Yeah.
I can't miss.
In the chat, Nanja said he's also wrestling Too Cold Scorpio in a couple weeks.
Yes, 5-star wrestling.
Yeah, the game room. That's one of my still favorite. When the girl starts screaming, "Too cold!"
Yeah,
and he pulls up to the basketball court.
Yeah,
I love it.
Again, another one that's crazy. Having that opportunity. I had the opportunity to work with him 2 other times. But they were multi-man matches. So like, this is a little bit more special to me. That this time it's like, okay, now I can really show you what I can do. I can and my man cooks, man. He's still cooking. That's the original chef, man.
Yep. My favorite story about him was Anthony Green. We were all backstage and we were talking stories just like this. And he goes, I just wrestled Too Cold a couple weeks ago, and everyone's like, oh, now if I would have told you in this room, I didn't belong in this room. It was me and then just like the who's who of wrestling, and I'm just some schmuck in there just listening to these amazing, talented people. Actually, me and my buddy BP looked at each other across the room and we're like, we don't belong here. But like everyone welcomed us and talked to us as we did, and it felt amazing. But Anthony Green's like, Too Cold told me backstage, he said, if you hit me like a bitch, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. He says, when you hit me. So Anthony Green goes, so you know what I did? I hit him first. And he said he still beat the shit out of me.
And that's man, he doesn't pull no punches, man. That's gonna be that day. I better eat my Wheaties, have my Gatorade. I better hit the gym, 3 times before the show, and really be ready. But nah, man, that's another pioneer for me, as far as representation goes. Again, someone watching him from ECW to WCW to WWE to his Japan things and his matches in Europe, his matches in Mexico. Again, another guy that
North Korea.
Right, yeah, North Korea, exactly, right. And but it was just watching somebody again, that looked like me, that's out there doing it. It's really cool. And like I said, just be able to share the ring with him is going to be awesome.
Last question here. Normally I would ask, if you could write a letter to your younger self, what would it say? So we'll give you that one, but he does have a follow-up question. So if you could write a letter to your younger self, what would it say?
Go for it. Hold on to it and never let it go. There's going to be a lot of people telling you not to do this. Family, friends, guidance counselors. Your guidance counselor is going to laugh in your face when you tell them that you want to be a professional wrestler. They're going to laugh in your face.
Are just in the wrestling business, just saying.
Right? Yeah, and that you're not going to make it. You right? By my own definition, I'm making it. That's literally that would be the letter. Go for it, hold on to it, chase after it, and don't let it go.
And if you could write a letter to your future self, what would it say?
You had a damn good career. Where you may end up, where you may not end up, is not going to define you isn't going to define your success. Whether you sign a contract or not anywhere, that does not define your success. You had fun. You made hella friends. You made great amount of memories. You should be proud of yourself, and you should be grateful.
And you left this business when the day comes, Desean, as one of the most respected and loved people in this business. And we're not talking when we're done. This is not a goodbye speech, but I'm just saying add that to the
right,
list.
yeah, right. But but that's literally what I would tell my future self.
Desean, where can people find you on social media? What's some last things you want to get out there? Plug.
Oh man, so you can find me on Instagram at Prince of CMD underscore Desean Pratt. You can find me on Twitter at Prince of CMD. You can find me on Facebook, Desean Pratt. I'm there. Follow me on there, and yeah, those are the main three places that I rock with. And then just catch me at your local show. I might just pop up. You never know. My pop-up game is dope. You never know where I may end up.
Well, listen, we're going to close out the best way I think we can close out. And listen, if you guys want to better yourself as a talent, you want that work, you want to get that in ring, you head to CZW. Desean says, send him a message, tell him you heard it from here.
Down.
And it doesn't cost you a dime. Just bring that energy,
bring that energy and work
and ready to work. And if there's any tag teams out there who feel like they got it, come see my boys.
Listen, come get them. Come get them. If you think you about that life, you think you about that work, come get them. They're right there for the taking. You ain't going to take them, but they're there for the taking.
I love to see it. Desean, I love you, man.
Love you too, my bro.
This door is always open anytime you want to come back and talk. You have any students or anyone at the school that need a platform to speak, my door is always open for talent. Actually, I want to show off one more thing that I think you're going to like. It's a spoof logo, but we had to like really spoof it so we don't get flagged or yelled at because they're really particular about their things. But I asked them to add something to the bottom. And I think this speaks a lot for what I'm trying to accomplish. Of course, now it's not going to load. Maybe not. It's a little more wholesome. We'll start. Actually, here it goes. So we're gonna start the show with the smut, and we're gonna end with the wholesome. But I only love in one style, that strong style, but the heart of the independence. And when I say the independence, man, that's not just wrestling. I support independent music, independent small business, independent anything. If you want to be on this podcast and you have a story to tell and you're passionate about your craft, please come talk to me. Links are below. Yeah. You can become a guest on the ABJ podcast. Desean, thank you so much for hanging out, brother. I genuinely enjoy every single time I get to see you at shows, and I look forward to it. But please get to that fucking dojo and get that work in.
The door's open, baby. The door's open. Seriously. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, hey, that'll be $8. No, come down. Seriously, come work out. Just come work. The door's open. Send me a message and come work. Seriously.
Hey, Anthony, this is Lavelle. What's going on, man? You came right at the end, but I appreciate it. But we're gonna get out of here. If you need logos, anything done, check out my links in my link tree. Hunter, Kai, Haley Stokes, Chris Collins. If you need music that you're about to hear for entrance music, podcast music, whatever you may need the music for, hit up the Converse Kid. I'm always trying to put people over. Check out my sponsors, SVW, High Elevation, and High Tension Wrestling Network. We didn't even get into that. You were the debut match for Camp Leapfrog event against Devontae. Go check that match out because you and Devontae is a great match, and that's another guy in the scene that I absolutely love, and he's super talented.
100%. Watch out for watch out for him. He's doing it. He's doing it. He's another one that's got next. Respect, much love to the kid.
Yep. So we'll see you guys next time. That's gonna do it for the ABJ podcast. We're out of here.